On a cold winter night, Dmitri, a seasoned outdoorsman, was on a solo camping trip at the edge of the Siberian forest. As he sipped on his drink inside his tent, he heard a commotion that made him sit up straight, heart. The growls of animals pierced the silent night, growing louder and closer. Dmitri knew he was near the outskirts, where animals rarely ventured, but the unmistakable sounds of a fight reached his ears. With a mixture of fear and curiosity, he grabbed his gun and cautiously unzipped his tent. Climbing a nearby tree for safety, Dmitri peered through the branches and was stunned to see two large tigers engaged in a brutal fight. Blood stained the snow as the beasts clawed and bit each other. He watched in horror as the larger male overpowered the smaller female, eventually killing her. The victorious tiger strutted away, leaving the lifeless body behind. A weak cry caught Dmitri's attention, making both him and the male tiger pause. A cub emerged from the shadows, nudging the fallen mother in vain. Dmitri's heart ached for the orphaned cub, knowing it wouldn't survive alone. As the male tiger turned its attention to the helpless cub, Dmitri acted. He fired his gun into the air, startling the tiger. When it didn't retreat, he fired again, this time closer, forcing the beast to flee. Climbing down, Dmitri approached the cub, who was desperately trying to wake its mother. He knew he couldn't leave the cub to fend for itself, but taking it home posed its own challenges. Despite his reservations, he scooped up the cub and returned to his campsite. Packing up quickly, he drove home, unsure how his house cat, Liz, would react to the new addition. Upon arrival, Liz greeted him sleepily. When she saw the cub, her eyes widened in curiosity. To Dmitri's surprise, Liz began grooming the cub as if it were her own. The two felines quickly formed a bond, and Dmitri named the cub Dima. Liz, who had been sterilized and never had kittens, found joy in mothering the young tiger. Days turned into weeks, and the once tiny cub grew rapidly. Dima's playful antics became more challenging to manage, and his wild instincts started to show. After Dima ruined Dmitri's work laptop, he knew it was time to seek help. He contacted an animal rescue organization who agreed to take Dima in. The separation was traumatic for both animals. Liz scratched one of the rescuers, and Dima bit another, prompting the team to consider using a tranquilizer. Dmitri, however, stopped them and called off the rescue, unable to bear the thought of tearing the two apart just yet. Eventually, Dima grew too large to safely remain in the house. With a heavy heart, Dmitri arranged for the rescue team to take him. Dima was placed in a zoo, where he initially struggled to adjust. Isolated from the other tigers, he spent his days longing for Liz, who also became withdrawn and frail without her adopted cub. Years passed, and Dima grew into a magnificent adult tiger. Despite his initial struggles, he adapted to zoo life and even started a family. One day, a familiar scent caught his attention. Dmitri, with Liz strapped to his chest, had brought her to the zoo for a final visit. The moment Dima saw them, he rushed to the glass, pressing his nose against it in recognition. Liz, too, recognized her cub and meowed excitedly. Dima, moved by the reunion, did something extraordinary. He gently brought his youngest cub to the glass, presenting it to Liz as if to say, "This is your grandchild." The touching moment brought tears to Dmitri's eyes and left the onlookers in awe. The following day, Liz passed away in Dmitri's arms, but not before experiencing the joy of reuniting with Dima one last time. Though they never got to cuddle again, Dmitri frequently visited Dima, reminiscing about the extraordinary bond between his house cat and the tiger cub she raised as her own. This beautiful story of love and unexpected family bonds reminds us of the incredible connections that can form between creatures of different worlds. Would you care for an orphaned tiger cub if your pet took a liking to it? Should Dmitri have never separated the two cats? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.